Hey guys, welcome to another episode of my channel. So today we are also going to talk about n8n and we are going to have one really interesting subject for today. And that is how to make bridge between your code and the flow in n8n. And this is extremely useful technique. Imagine that you have some code that does something important, but then you need some result from n8n workflow. And it would be nice to pair those two together. Now I'm going to show you exactly how to do that. And my choice for programming language for today is Python. But you can do in almost any programming language for that matter. The only thing that you actually have to do is to make some HTTP request. But why is that? Because there is no direct way to use your code on n8n workflow. There is no node that can provide that kind of service, and there is no way for you to make some TCP/IP connection directly. But what actually we can do? We can use webhook. And that is exactly how we are going to do it. But first, if you don't understand this part in the middle, please watch my previous episodes. I am explaining that in details. So basically, I am using AI agent with my local Olama model and simple memory. So nothing to worry about. But once again, if you don't know what it is, check my previous episodes. So now I'm going to add a node and I'm going to call webhook. Alright, I'm going to change this path to, let's call it tool. We are not going to have authentication. I'm going to use post method. Alright. And respond is going to be by using respond to webhook node. Alright. So I'm going to get back now and in here I'm going to create webhook. No, not this webhook, sorry. Respond to webhook. All right. And I'm going to send the text back to my Python code. We are going to solve this later. So now, first, I'm going to open this and I'm going to copy this address. We are going to need it. Let me get back. I'm going to navigate to my Visual Studio Code. And in here, you're going to have one Python document in order to write code in it. And we are going to import two libraries first. So I'm going to import requests and I'm going to import sys. First, I'm going to have one variable called name, and it's going to be of string type, and it's going to be from argument number 1, and let's say age. It's also going to be string. I'm also going to get it from arguments and from second argument. So what I want to do, I want to execute my program with two arguments. One argument is going to be some name and another argument is going to be some age. And we are going to feed that data through our code to n8n workflow. So now I need webhook and I'm going to set this address, but instead of this local host, I'm going to provide path, IP address to one of my local machines where I'm hosting n8n. So it's 192.168.0.201. Everything else is fine. And now, in order to provide content, name and age to webhook, I'm going to create message like this, and I'm going to set name to be name and age to be age. All right. And now I'm just going to print out something like waiting for response. Now, response is going to be requests. We are using post method, and first we are going to use this webhook And as data, we are going to provide this message. All right. And now we have to check content of this response. Make some space. So if response status code it's 200, what's wrong? Not response. Response. All right, typo. So first I'm going to print something like okay, it's going to be better to take this, a little bit less work to do, and I'm going to wrap it with response. At the end also response, and in the middle I'm going to print actual text from response. So response, right again. What's wrong with my typing today? Okay, response test. All right, and now else if something goes wrong, I want to print, let's go with asterisk sign right now, error. Okay, this is gonna work. So now I'm going to open my browser once again, and I'm going to connect this, and I'm going to connect this too, but I'm not going to execute entire workflow. I'm going to show you why in a moment. So first I'm going to execute this webhook, and let me see my Python code, and I'm going to view, where is terminal? It's here. So name of my file it's main.py, but I have to call it with Python, so Python main py, and let's name that guy Jimmy, age 34. Okay. All right, as you can see, we have executed this code successfully, but we don't have anything in actual response. Response has no content because we didn't execute entire workflow. So now I'm going to open this in order for you to see what we got. Okay, we have name Jimmy, age 34. Let's go to agent, and with name Jimmy and age like this. So we provided the actual result from webhook in the form of name and age, and our agent is going to deal with that now. And let's go to the respond webhook. In here we are responding with text, and I'm going to take output. Okay, it's going to be JSON output. All right, get back. Now I'm going to execute this entire workflow, and let's test it. I'm going to run this code once again, and let's see what we are going to get. All right, awesome. Let me see. This is entire response. It's Jimmy, 34 years old, individual, and now some content that my agent created for this person. It's completely irrelevant. And at the end, I'm going to do one more test, but now we are going to have some totally unrealistic parameters. But first I have to execute that workflow once again. Now it's gonna be, let's say, Tommy, and I don't know whether I spelled that right, but Tommy is going to be 100,000 years old. And let's see what we are going to get. Oh yeah, we have the response. So describing a person named Tommy, who is 100,000 years old, present an interesting challenge due to extreme age involved. Alright, so if you are interested, you can read the rest. So guys, that would be all for this episode. I hope that you learned something new and interesting, so please like, subscribe, and see ya!